Finally, what about jobs in geography? Now, I put this in this section for a reason, because remote sensing and geographic information systems is such a critical part to providing careers for our majors. So where geography used to a lot be like, like spelling in the 70s. You just go out and memorize words. Here you go out and memorize rivers and capitals and all that stuff. That's very stereotypical geography. And so where this is now providing us with careers is definitely with the whole idea of computer mapping. And just to give you an instance, or just to kind of a showcase the growth or the recent growth of this discipline, I'm just going to go ahead and show you kind of a summary of all these emails that I received from January 1st, 2010 to November of that same year. And so about 11 months during what we would think of as being one of the worst part of the recession, was there in the 2010 period where there was hardly any new jobs being added. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show all the list of all the jobs in which someone sent me a message saying, hey, we're looking for a geographer. And here's the start of the list. That continues. And continues. And so on. And of course, a lot of these are related to research, and so a lot of them are professor or research assistants or something related to universities, but nonetheless, it shows, even in a downtime, that there's a large growth in GIS. And so we get a lot of students who are former military, would actually use GIS, actually use these technologies that are now applying for to be a major at IUPUI geography. So we have other instances of individuals who work for organizations in which they want them to go learn this GIS trait, learn this GIS skill, and bring that back to their office. And one of our former majors, Andy Dunkman, who works for the Department of Public Works, so he works for the city of Indianapolis, and I went and I visited him a few years ago, and I kind of was just taking a tour of the facility, and he was going through, talking about how the city was trying to map everything, from who was living in a place in 1910 to the sewer lines in the center lines of roads today. All of this seemed like a major project, so I asked him, how close are you to being done? About 1%. That shows you there's still 99% worth of work that there's still left to do. And so once again, providing jobs, providing opportunities for our students. And so where Andy is a former student, we've got lots of other former students that are working in the industry, some that are doing logistics, some that are working for Simon Malls as far as where they, doing market research, so using a lot of GIS. We've got people working for the Nature Conservancy, people working for the Department of Natural Resources. For example, looking at where certain invasive species, there's certain things that are killing our native trees, why and how, and they're getting there, and how can we lessen that impact. Looking at urban heat islands, places that are super hot, that then can all have an increasing likelihood of creating heat strokes, especially in those poor socioeconomic areas. All of these are examples of where our students are now working, but actually applying these skill sets. And this, in summary, this is a recent IndyStar list of the top 10 in-demand jobs provided by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. And I know the smart out person's probably sitting there and saying, I don't see GIS on there. Well, if you look at them, you see a lot of things that are related to computers, related to some of the same things you would be using with GIS. And so those same things are also highly in demand in geography. And so one of the things is you learn GIS. It's a tool. But where you do, the human geography, this course, all the concepts we're going to learn throughout the semester are useful because now, okay, well, you know how to do this stuff, but now what does it mean? How can you apply these ideas? How can you apply these tools to answer questions? And so that's where then the knowledge of human geography is then applicable, not only with the tool and the research techniques from GIS and remote sensing.